Welcome back, everybody. Did you know that we're in a frat?
And we talk about sports.
This is Frat Sports, ladies and gentlemen. Back here for the second episode with myself, Chris.
And Charlie.
And we're here to give you all the latest and greatest from this week in football and a couple of other stories, actually, that we wanted to touch on at the beginning of the show. One was a couple of significant people that we had pass away over the weekend. That was Arnold Palmer and Jose Fernandez. Arnold Palmer had one of the most stunning careers in golfing history and is a legend, and Jose Fernandez was on his way to being one of the greats in baseball for a decade plus to come before a tragic boating accident. So, man, tough weekend, huh, Charlie?
Yeah, just really brutal. I'll start with Arnold Palmer. Honestly, the first thing that pops into my head when I think of him is that this is SportsCenter commercial where it's Stuart Scott and SVP are just standing behind him, and he goes in, he gets an Arnold Palmer, a little lemonade, little iced tea, little lemonade, and they're just like, that was awesome.
That was incredible. That's the coolest thing we've ever seen.
Well, one of many great This is SportsCenter commercials, but yeah, just a class act, had a good long life, so we'll miss you, Arnie, but Jose Fernandez, just
an embodiment of the American dream. Came here over the tides from Cuba to follow his dream and play baseball in America, and he was one of the best players in the league.
Just brutal, yeah.
Brutal. So,
but that D. Gordon home run, I saw one quote by him where he was talking to his teammates, and he was just like, "Guys, if you didn't believe in a God before I hit that home run, you might as well start now because I had never hit a home run that long, even in BP, and of course the first at bat he has after his buddy's death, just hits a bomb."
Yeah, that's the magic of baseball. That is really why it's such a romantic sport, is for moments exactly like that, where the sport scripts it better than anyone possibly could.
Yeah, it was awesome.
No one would actually believe that if someone wrote that as a script, would they?
Right.
I feel like if that happened in a movie, everyone would call bullshit.
Yeah, and especially from D. Gordon, it's about 160 pounds. Like.
Exactly. So, moving on to a quick little thing we have called the DFL Minute. Which is the DFL stands for the Downstairs Football League, a little NCAA 2014 video game league we run in the house here. Now, the league has a little bit of an interesting competitive nature, where it is actually, there's a large, how would you describe it, a large scrum of people, just kind of like, it's like the ACC once upon a time, just beating each other constantly.
Exactly.
And then there's me.
Here we go.
And I don't lose.
See, the thing is, Lopez... He's on a different wavelength than the rest of us. See, a lot of us, we run, a little cover two, a little, maybe a little two-man under, or the occasional blitz. Whereas Lopez, he controls the safety or the linebacker. Whereas if any of us tried to do that, we would just get burned. But he can read a play better than any of us can, and it turns out to be unfair for the most part.
And sometimes it is. Like a little occasion we just had about an hour ago, was it? What was the final score of that game, Charlie?
It was 38-7.
Yeah, so I just beat Charlie 38-7. It was a good time. Dubs Gods kind of screwed him a little bit, but you gotta make those field goals. Not throw those picks and not get those sacks.
The only redeeming part of that loss is that we started a new league in the house this year with the NBA 2K16 League, and Lopez and I are currently both tied for first place, and the first time we play each other is in the last week, so...
Oh boy.
Very much looking forward to that matchup.
The last regular season Titans clash. Oh, it's going to be...
I'll be practicing the week before that game. That's going to be great.
I won't practice at all, and I'll probably beat you. It'll be fine.
You probably will.
If I don't beat you in that, at least I destroyed you in Dubs, so it's fine.
You'll have that, yeah. There's more on the line for me.
I hope someone beats... The thing about 2K is I just recently started playing it. Like, the last game was the first one I played a lot. Like, Dubs, I've trained my entire life to win a fraternity house Dubs league.
See, I'm the complete opposite.
I've my whole life.
Yeah, so I've been playing 2K for probably since 2K10 came out, so I'm very much more in practice with that game.
Yeah, and we'll be keeping you guys up to date on those leagues a little bit. Maybe get some standings here for you a little bit later, but we're not that organized. So that's kind of how it goes.
Fortunately, we are organized with the NFL, so we can move on to that right after we talk about USC football.
Gotta talk about USC football.
Yeah.
Man, another disheartening weekend for Trojan football. No one's getting used to this. In fact, our fan base now ranges from "Fire Clay Helton, the world is over, God is dead," to "I guess I'm fine going 7-5. We'll give him one more year." But no one is on the Helton bandwagon. It's just whether or not you're dragging your feet or you've jumped off and want to set it ablaze.
I think 7-5 right now is pretty optimistic for the rest of the season, honestly.
We've played 3 ranked opponents in the first 4 weeks.
That's true, but the rest of our schedule, it doesn't get that much easier.
Well, yeah,
number 1 hardest schedule in the country.
But we don't play that many more ranked opponents the rest of the way. We play Washington, and who else? And
I don't have the schedule in front of me. I know we play Colorado coming up, who is better than people think.
Surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good.
Leoafu is a very competent quarterback.
Right.
They gave Michigan just about all they can handle through like 2 quarters, and then Michigan remembered that they were Michigan. But they look good.
So Lopez, I'll ask you this: are you one of these Clay Helton haters? Is the world on fire? Should we fire Clay Helton?
Well, those are two very independent questions. Am I a Clay Helton hater, and do I think we should fire him? Because yes, I am, but no, I don't. Because one, we just gave him a 4-year guaranteed contract, and I don't think you can let him go necessarily during his first year. Maybe after the end of his first year, once we've seen the dust settle. But making a reactionary firing here would cause a program that is already unstable to possibly enter a void from which it cannot climb out of. And as much as USC fans might not want to admit it, the program has not nearly hit rock bottom. I was a Michigan fan when they went 3-9 and lost to Toledo and Illinois and Northwestern and Purdue all in the same year.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Michigan because a lot of people have been comparing the Clay Helton era to the Brady Hoke era,
which it pretty much is.
Yeah, it's very closely related.
So, but you know what that means? Next is Jim Harbaugh.
Well, hopefully
that's what we have to. But so I think what Clay.
So
Helton,
why not just get there?
Clay Helton should be is Clay Helton should be our placeholder quarterback, if you will. He's the guy that we have while we cement the rest of everything else going on, so that when the coaching candidate of our dreams becomes available, which frankly, great coaching candidates come available every couple of years.
Right.
So wait for that and give him $8 million a year.
See, if there was any other program, I think that'd be a viable strategy, is just to wait for somebody to be available. But we're USC. I mean, we're one of the biggest brands of college football. We can go after people. We can make big offers.
But who would we
why not just skip to Jim Harbaugh?
Do you want to fire Clay Helton?
I do want to fire Clay Helton.
You want to fire Clay Helton?
Yeah, why not just bottom out right now?
Come on.
Wash the season out. Let's go after David Shaw. Let's go after Chip Kelly.
Why would David Shaw leave Stanford to go to USC?
He might not, but USC, it's...
Who could we realistically get this year?
I don't have any off the top of my head. I know Chip
Les
Kelly...
Miles? Do you want Les Miles?
Yeah, why not? Les Miles...
Chip Kelly just started at the 49ers. He's not going anywhere. We won't get Chip Kelly.
No, I know Chip Kelly, the ship is kind of sailing Chip Kelly. I know he wanted to come here, though.
He did.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't let him pick a defensive coordinator, was it, or offensive?
I'm not sure.
I know Pat Hayden wanted to keep Eddie Orgeron on the coaching staff. By the way, he's already gone.
Right.
But that was a stipulation, and Chip Kelly didn't want that, so the deal didn't get done. Thanks, Pat. Pat.
So if we're not going to fire Clay Helton, do you want to fire T. Martin? Do you want to fire some
I
other
want to fire
assistants?
T. Martin for sure. His offensive play calling has been putrid.
I agree. It's been terrible. He's not qualified to be an OC yet.
Yeah, well,
he needs some stepping stones before he can get there.
I feel like most people on that staff are occupying positions that they aren't really qualified to occupy. Clancy Pendergast is the only coach on the team who really knows what he's doing with his job, and that's shown because our defense is by far the best part of our team.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you fire T. Martin this week?
No, I think you still give it. I mean, it's almost not even worth firing him until you fire Helton. Necessarily, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's if we fire him midseason or not. I think it'll make very little difference. So I just don't think it matters.
Right.
But we should not fire Helton after this year, so that we can have a placeholder. Wait for that. If the ideal coaching candidate gets fired, if Texas A&M for God knows what reason fires Kevin Sumlin or something like that. Maybe that would be something to go after.
I mean,
wouldn't you want to wait for that NFL coach?
What about Les Miles?
Fired? Why?
He's fallen into our lap.
He's just a better Clay Helton.
What? No, he's not.
He doesn't necessarily. I don't think he offers much in the ways of the X and O's. I get it that he's a great.
That guy can recruit like hell.
But he's notorious for not finishing seasons and losing big games to rivals. That's what he's notorious for. Well, if we got Les Miles, I'd be happy, but I don't know if he's the coach we need.
I do think that USC, in large part, it kind of recruits itself. So I think in this next hire, we should focus on a guy who's going to have good X's and O's, and ultimately is going to have like a good staff behind him. Because obviously Clay Helton, his staff is they're not qualified, they're not competent. So I think we need a reboot. We disagree on the timing of that, but I think a change is coming. A change is coming.
It's a matter of when, not if.
Right.
Unless somehow Clay Helton turns us around, but no one thinks he'll do that. Right. So, anyways, now on to the NFL.
Moving on to the NFL. So as for those of you who listened to our show last week, Lopez and I made some picks on every NFL game for this week, and we tallied them up. So I think we're going to go through all these games.
Is this the part where I can be braggadocious?
This is the part where you can be braggadocious,
nice.
Yeah. So Lopez... His final tally from his picks was 11-3-1. and mine was 8-6-1. So we'll go through each of these games, kind of dissect what happened, and Lopez can brag when he was right. So first off, we have the Patriots defeating the Texans 27-0. We both had the Patriots winning, but I wasn't expecting it to be this bad.
Yeah, neither was I. We both expected them to pull something out, especially because I think the Texans had a spread or something. But man, wow. This game was shocking. This game was absolutely
0
shocking.
Points.
I mean, this has to be the moment, if you haven't had this moment already, where you realize that watching Bill Belichick is watching the greatest living coach in football right now, and who has been for the last decade.
It's amazing. I mean, it's almost not surprising when you think about all the quarterbacks that he's been able to use, all the pieces he's kind of put together. I mean, he used Jacoby Brissett perfectly. Just a bunch of little slant routes, the occasional QB, designed run. He knew exactly what to do with what he was given.
And when you remember that the entire Texans coaching staff are Bill Belichick disciples. Romeo Crennel, defensive coordinator, started with Bill Belichick. Bill O'Brien, their head coach, also disciple of Belichick's. I mean, he knew everything it seemed like he knew everything they would do before they did it, which is how you get a scoreline like this with your third string quarterback when that defense has got J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, that's not a slouch team, and especially from a defensive point of view, he made Brock Osweiler look foolish.
Right.
He made Jacoby Brissett look better than Osweiler, who's making $18 million a year.
Right.
And that's coaching.
I mean, Brock Osweiler, he's clearly not been worth that money.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Bad. Well, we'll see.
It's hard
to
know.
He can turn it around.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a little early, but he's not doing well.
All right, let's move on.
All right, the Monday night game or the Sunday night game. Cowboys defeated the Bears 31-17. We both had the Cowboys, unfortunately.
The Bears are the Bears going to get the number 2 overall pick?
God, I hope so. I mean, at this point, I want to tank for the rest of the season because
don't you? Now you've come to the dark side.
Tanking
is better.
It's not a good feeling though to want your team to tank. It's just a very depressing.
It's a self-loathing feeling, but it eventually does pay off. It's a lot like alcoholism. It's a self-loathing that you just.
Does that eventually pay off?
That's fair. It really doesn't, but. Neither do number 1 picks actually, if recent history shows anything, unless you get the great quarterback.
So, speaking of great quarterback, I heard some discussion on ESPN about the Bears trading for Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm not sure who they'd have to give up to get him, but why? I would love that trade.
Well, all right. To be fair, when I say don't, that is with the expectation that the price will be way higher than
the price will be high. So, but
would you give up a first-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo?
A first-round pick? Oh, hell yeah.
No. Your first round, you only have one, right? The Bears don't have anyone else's.
I don't know.
Would you give up your first round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo?
Absolutely.
Right now?
Yeah.
Are you... Dude, no way.
Dude, for a guy who I think is going to be a franchise quarterback?
He's a rookie, isn't he?
Right, but, okay.
Where did they draft him?
A first-round pick that's going to pan out as well as Jimmy Garoppolo has so far
but
is
you could have Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson.
They're not going to fall down. Okay.
To 2? You're awful. You're not trading the 10th, the 15th. You're trading pretty much a top 3 pick.
I mean, Lamar Jackson, I don't know how good that guy is in the NFL. He's very wiry. He's built kind of for
you would take Garoppolo, Deshaun Jackson, or Deshaun Watson, or Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Either one of those, or Jimmy Garoppolo. Because that's what that trade is, because you guys are so bad.
Well, I think there are a lot of to get to the number 2 pick, that's not a guarantee, first of all. So if you were giving me literally that choice between Garoppolo and Deshaun Watson, I'd take Deshaun Watson. I don't know if I'd take Lamar Jackson.
Okay, but so let's say you take the worst of the 2, whoever you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
You'll take Jimmy Garoppolo over that quarterback.
Yeah.
Dude, you're crazy.
No.
Why? What about Garoppolo has sold you through one NFL game?
His poise, his stats, I mean, everything.
But he's a Belichick quarterback. Brisket had poise because he's playing for the Patriots. He's not going to look like that on the Bears. You know he won't. Brock Osweiler, great example.
Wait, it wasn't on the Patriots, though.
No, well, he looked poised on another team that looks terrible on one. Matt Castle, sorry. Perfect Patriots
Matt Castle, all right, it's a good
Went to the playoffs with the Patriots. Chiefs signed him to a huge
all right, but
deal.
my choice is between a guy who has poise and proven he can play in the NFL versus 2 guys that I've never seen play in the NFL. I mean, Garoppolo is just farther along than both of those guys.
But
the upside might be
the talent
greater.
is so much more lopsided. Garoppolo was a second round pick, second or third round
Honestly,
pick.
I had never heard of him before he came in for Brady.
Doesn't that kind of concern you?
I mean, not really. He's proven he can play.
You would without any doubt, give up a top 5 pick.
Well, no, it's not without any doubt. I think if there's just too many factors to where we would get to Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson that maybe, if you could guarantee that I would get one of those two guys, then I'd have to think about it more. But
I just gave you one of the two of them. I would take Deshaun Watson over Jimmy Garoppolo every day of the week, including Sunday.
I would take Deshaun Watson over him, yeah. But we're not going to get the number one pick. No, I'm not sold on
Lamar Jackson can throw 100 yards in the air.
He's been great in college, but doesn't he remind you of like all these guys that are good in college and can just run all over the place, and then once they get to the NFL, they just get smashed?
You mean like Russell Wilson? You mean like when Andrew Luck once upon a time ran in college and knocked people down? How do you use the fact that he's an athlete against him? Lamar Jackson can throw 100 yards in the air.
I use more the fact that he's just like wiry and does not look like he's going to stay in the NFL for
I'll give you that he could be RG3, but he hasn't shown himself. The problem with RG3 is he can't stay healthy. He's always injured.
Exactly.
The one season that was healthy is actually good. That talent's incredible. Jimmy Garoppolo is a filler quarterback. He should if he's your starter, you're going nowhere unless you're Belichick.
I disagree. I mean, I think as a Bears fan, it might be some some
scarring
just from never having a solid quarterback.
Have you seen the record for Patriot quarterbacks?
No, I agree. It's definitely there's definitely an asterisk for the Belichick thing, but I think just the fact that Garoppolo has shown he can play in the league, that's something as a Bears fan
for one game.
Okay, as
Matt
a Bears
Flynn
fan,
can have one great game.
As a Bears fan, that is honestly like
are you
enough
so
for us. We're
used to seeing a quarterback who cares? Is that it? You just haven't seen a quarterback who cares in so long.
Exactly.
That you're just desperate for you think someone who has moxie and actually gives a crap about what's going on.
No, that's completely true. Yeah, Chicago would fall in love.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a look into the deep, dark soul of a Bears fan.
It's sad. It's
Man,
really
as
a
Lions fan, I have no idea what that feels like, and that's to not know a dark abyss of fandom is kind of weird for me. I'll be honest.
All right, let's move on.
No, Dak. You want to talk about Dak at all? Dak's great, by the way. Everyone, the Dak.
We'll talk about Dak when we do predictions.
Dak hype train's there. Anyways, the Bills and Cardinals.
Yeah, next game, Bills defeated Cardinals.
No one saw this game.
33-18. We both had the Cardinals, so I guess we're both dumb.
Are the Cardinals fake?
I have no idea what to do with the Cardinals.
Because to be fair, I was always surprised that they could do so well with an aging Carson Palmer.
Same.
But they did, week in and week out.
Right.
And I'm not sure what's changed from year to year, except for the fact that it seems like Carson Palmer's playing like crap.
Well, I think, I mean, it does seem like a lot rides on him, but they have just been so up and down. I think before I make a determination on what they're going to do, I need to see him play a few more games.
Yeah.
They're very unpredictable.
But, man, tough year thus far.
Right. Next game, Raiders defeated the Titans. You had the Raiders, I had the Titans.
Told you.
And
easy pick.
Both young quarterbacks look really good, I think. I think Mariota and Carr are going to be good for a long time in this league.
Yeah, but they didn't look that great in this game. This is a game of the young defenses, dude, or at least for Oakland. Oakland's defense is underrated, and the reason that they were everyone's dark horse candidate is because no one knew if that defense would be able to play well enough to not dominate, but borderline dominate. Because now they've
like
drafted,
the old Raiders.
Yeah, well, they've drafted a couple corners high. They have Khalil Mack. They've got Justin Houston on the defensive line or something. I mean, they have players now. Just no one was sure if they could put it together, especially with Jack Del Rio, defensive guy head coach.
Big balls, Jack Del Rio.
Big balls, Jack Del Rio.
Next up, we got the Dolphins defeating the Browns 30-24. Cody Kessler, he wasn't as bad as I thought he was going to be, but pretty underwhelming. No touchdowns. Completed about half his passes. Anything to say between these two pretty awful teams?
I mean, that's pretty much a stereotypical Browns quarterback day. At least that was the best day. That was the best day he could have hoped for, honestly.
Exactly.
I mean, with 244 yards, 21-33, not terrible.
Not terrible.
Making us proud.
No interceptions.
Making us proud as USC faithful. I mean, the fact that the Browns almost won that, I think, is embarrassing for the Dolphins, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're 10-point dogs.
And Ryan Tannehill throws 2 picks. I mean, this is certainly not a sign that the Dolphins have turned it around at all.
Right.
The defense I remember mentioning last show, they have a monstrous defensive line. Where was the defensive line in this game?
Who knows?
Ndamukong Suh getting no sacks, or did he? I don't know if he got sacked in this game, but really not putting a lot of pressure on Cody, which surprising.
Yeah, we use too much airspace this game as it is. Ravens defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 19-7. I had the Ravens. You had the Jaguars.
Was there a line on this? I can't remember.
Yeah, the line was, it was even. Yeah.
Oh, it was even?
Yeah,
Damn.
it was pick 'em.
God, When are the Jags going to finally turn it around?
It seems like they're just kind of on the precipice, but it's hard to tell.
But usually they're so far from the precipice that now that they might maybe be good, everyone was convinced that they'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly the Ravens are 3-0 despite not really any hype going into this season whatsoever.
Yeah, very, very much underrated Ravens.
I mean, and man, this is a bad game for Joe Flacco. I'm looking it up. 0 touchdowns, 2 picks, 29 of 40 for 214. That is some very subpar quarterbacking.
Yes.
How did they win this game?
What do you make of Bortles? What do you think his future prospects are?
I mean, he's suffering the Ryan Tannehill problem of just throwing way too many interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had 3 in this game, and you can't throw 3 interceptions and expect to win, especially when now he's got the weapons. He has no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
He has Allen Robinson. He has is it Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns? Same first name? Yeah, so he's got wide receivers. He's got Storm Johnson in the backfield, who, I mean, the running game was decent. It wasn't, overpowered or, oh, God, never mind. They had no running game at all.
I mean, I think the interceptions are just, it's a sign of not a solid development for him. Because, honestly, I think, the best development is for a young quarterback to be behind a solid starting quarterback for a few years, kind of gets to know the ropes. And I think once he comes in, he's more prepared. But I think Bortles is kind of learning on the fly here, and he's going to throw a lot of picks, and eventually he might pan out, but I think this is just kind of one of those growing pains he's going to have.
Happens.
And next up, NFC North battle, we got the Packers defeating the Lions, 34-27. We both had the Lions at that insane line of 7.5 points, so we both would have won money.
Absolutely, an insane line.
Yeah,
we knew they'd keep it within 7.
Yeah, well,
the Lions almost came back in this game.
Yeah,
That's
the thing. Stafford, he looked good again, and they can't pull it out.
Well, the issue with this is that opposed to their first 2 games, they blew multiple possession leads, and then in this game, the Packers took a 21-0 lead off of 3 Aaron Rodgers first quarter touchdown passes, and he had 4 in the first half. Mm-hmm. So when Aaron Rodgers throws 3 touchdowns in a quarter, you kind of already know that you're going to lose. And even still fighting from behind, they were able to make it close. The team has fight, which makes me almost annoyingly optimistic about them, because they're a 1-2 team with a lot of fight, which is just as good as a 1-2 team that's looked awful.
They need a running game, though. I mean,
they have a running game. Amir Abdul-is on the IR, which really hurts them, but theoretics look good. Dwayne Washington has looked good.
He had 38 yards.
The point of the team is not to run the ball, especially not when you're down 21-0 in the first quarter.
Well, if Stafford's throwing it 40 times plus, I mean,
they were down 21-0 through the first quarter. That you can't be balanced up to that.
You can't get to that point.
As you have personal experience with, actually, being down 21-0 in the first quarter, you need to throw
you won't get down
the rest of the game.
21-0 if you have a balanced running game, then that'll set up the pass.
No, because what happened is the Packers scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and the Lions did 2 2-and-outs. After 2 possessions on offense, they were down 21-0.
Well, I think ultimately going forward, they need to have the solid running game to back up Stafford.
Of course they did. Well. No, I completely contest that. There's this misconception that it is a weak running game that hurts the Lions. How many points did they score?
27.
How many points did they give up?
34.
How many touchdown passes did Aaron Rodgers have in the first quarter?
Was it 3?
3. I've said it 5 times.
Yeah.
You can't win. The defense really needed to step up in this game. And specifically what it was is a missing Ezekiel Ansah. Because the game was 27-34, the Lions kicked the ball to the Packers with about 3 minutes left. And there were opportunities throughout that drive for the Lions to stop them, but they could not get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. And twice, he dropped back to pass and then scrambled out of the pocket for a first down. And as a defense, you need that pressure on a quarterback. And when you can't generate that pressure in crucial times, you'll lose. That's exactly what happened. Ezekiel Ansah being out of this game is what lost it for the Lions. And not having any sort of pass rush when he's not in the lineup is what kills them. It's not a lack of a running game. For once, it's not a terrible offensive line because our offensive line has been up and down this year, but opposed to just normally just totally down. In that game, it was a lack of a defensive line, and we need a pass rusher outside of Ezekiel.
After the first quarter, the win probability for the Packers was 96%,
and we still almost came back.
It's hard to come back now. Yeah.
Damn.
Well, so we'll keep an eye on the Lions. They might turn it around because the NFC North, still wide open. Next game, we got the Broncos defeating the Bengals 29-17. How good are the Broncos? Are they the best team in the NFL right now?
In the NFL?
Yeah.
No, that's Patriots.
Are they number 2?
Yeah, I'll give them number 2.
I think so too.
I think that Trevor Siemian has surprised everybody.
Yeah.
4 touchdown passes in this game, doing exactly what he's asked to do and nothing more. He's basically Peyton Manning.
But are the defensive coordinators going to start to figure him out? Is his production going to go down? Because I think that's going to happen.
Well, see, the thing is, and this is what the difference between production and playing well is, he's not a priority, which I think is a really great thing for an offense, is when they don't have to focus on like getting someone production and they can just do what strategically works best, which Siemian actually is, because he has no pedigree like Manning where they feel like they need to be giving him touches. So that puts him in the best situation to succeed, because the play calls are always just what the offensive coordinator thinks will have the most success.
Right.
His production might go down, but I don't think that the Broncos will fall off, because as his production goes down, C.J. Anderson's will go up. C.J. Anderson had, 50 yards in this game, no touchdowns?
37.
Average game for him, but that's because they were throwing the ball all over the place.
Yeah, Siemian 4 touchdowns.
I mean, they didn't need to give C.J. Anderson those goal line possessions. They were getting turnovers in Bengals territory, so they didn't need to, storm down the field. But he'll do exactly what he's asked of, and it'll be the Broncos. I don't know if they'll miss a single beat from last year. Mm-hmm. It's hard to see, honestly, because the defense looks just as good, even with DeMarcus Ware out. He'll be coming back later in the year, so they'll have him for the playoffs.
Right. And
that's going to be scary.
No, this defense is very scary. I mean, if they can keep teams under 20 points for like most of their games, I agree. I think C.J. Anderson, he can complement Trevor Siemian well. They got weapons on the outside. Like, this team is just stacked, even though, we didn't expect much from Trevor Siemian going in, but he's been fine. So I do think his production's going to go down, but they have enough other weapons that I think they'll be okay. Plus that amazing defense.
Next game,
the Vikings defeated the Panthers.
So
22-10.
I want to talk to you about something.
Let's hear it. I want to hear what you have to say about the Vikings.
So I know you want to talk to me about Sam Bradford, don't you?
Of course.
What do you want to say about Sam Bradford?
Well, and just the Vikings in general.
Why don't you say what you want to say about Sam Bradford, and then I'll give you my retort.
I want to know what it will take for you to justify the Sam Bradford trade. Do they have to win the Super Bowl?
Yes.
What? Why?
No, they have to make the Super Bowl.
They have to make it to the Super Bowl.
They
can't make it to the NFC Championship.
They don't have to win it. No.
What about the semis?
I don't think that's good enough. No, semis absolutely not. Maybe if they lose a close championship game, you can justify it, an NFC championship game. But I would say they have to, because it's a first-round pick is super valuable. So that's what the price is. But as games like this show you, the Minnesota Vikings have a Super Bowl defense.
Oh. Yeah, I'd say second best in the NFL.
I mean, they had another defensive score in this one. No, just a special team score. But their defense is causing turnovers. It's getting sacks. They're all over the place. I mean, the Panthers scored the first 10 points in this game, and they didn't score after halfway through the first quarter.
You think that defense is better than the Broncos' defense?
They're on par. I mean,
they're very close.
Yeah, they're 1-2.
It's them and then everybody else.
Yeah, it's athletes everywhere, and it's Mike Zimmer as a coach is a special defensive coordinator. Now that he has command of the whole unit, I still think, or he's head coach now, obviously, but I think that the defense is his pride and joy, and he has coached them up to an amazing degree so far this year. Mm-hmm. But Sam Bradford still will never be worth that first-round pick. And I actually want to talk to you about another thing. We talk about J.J. Watt, between the two of us a lot, as the sort of the symbolic tipping point between how valuable a quarterback is in a game. Mm-hmm. Because you think, while J.J. Watt's the best defensive end, that he does
Best defensive player in the NFL.
Best defensive player in the NFL, he does not rival a quarterback's effect on a game, right?
Right.
And you think quarterbacks by far affect the most in a game and have the most to do with determining whether a team wins or loses.
Absolutely.
So why is it then that think about all the best quarterbacks in the league right now? Are they winning?
Well,
the teams that are winning the most right now are the Patriots, who are without Tom Brady and have had Garoppolo injured and have had Brissett now in a game play serviceably and then also get injured, and they might need to put Element in the next game. They're 3-0.
All right, two things on
Philadelphia Eagles, I'm going to go down the list.
Yeah,
Philadelphia Eagles are starting a rookie QB, and they're 3-0. Yeah. The Minnesota Vikings lost their starter and are playing Sam Bradford, and are 3-0. And Denver, who lost Hall of Famer Peyton Manning, is starting this guy named Trevor Siemian, who no one thought would be any good. They're 3-0. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers is not 3-0. Mm-hmm. Drew Brees is not 3-0. All of the best quarterbacks in the league right now do not have winning records. Ben Roethlisberger got killed. Mm-hmm. Does this not show that teams are more important than quarterbacks?
No, it doesn't. So, I never said... I said a quarterback is more significant than any other single player. I never said a quarterback would be more important than an entire defense.
But doesn't it show that other players are really important and that quarterbacks
other players
are not
collectively?
but
collectively
not
they're obviously
disproportionately important. I mean, I'll give you 2 defensive ends are as important as a quarterback.
2 defensive ends? I
Yeah.
mean...
The common factor between the 4
an entire defense, absolutely.
The common factor between the 4 teams that are winning right now and most of the good teams in the league is more pass rush than quality quarterbacking.
I mean, it's the entire defense.
The
Broncos and Vikings are just stacked all
But
around.
the Eagles don't have a great secondary.
Carson Wentz is playing awesome.
The Vikings' corners are underwhelming.
I mean, you're knocking Carson Wentz for being a bad quarterback just because he's a rookie.
He's just a rookie.
Yeah, but he's playing well.
But he's a rookie.
Yeah, but he's having a huge effect on the game because he's playing well. Just because he's a rookie doesn't mean he's having less of an effect.
But you don't need a great quarterback necessarily to win games as much as you need other. It's you need in value to other things.
No, all I ever said was a quarterback is by far the most important single position. And it has a greater effect on the outcome of the game than any other single position. You just believe it to a
disproportionate amount, and the best teams in the NFL right now should show you that.
No, okay, an entire defense versus a quarterback is more important. That I'll give you.
But then isn't it important to build a defense and then get your quarterback?
Well, obviously, if you can have an entire good defense versus one good quarterback, yeah, I mean, I take that. That's 11 players, but... Any single player is not going to have
but even 2 players. I mean, it's not like these defenses have Hall of Famers at every position. You just need, if you have great players in certain spots, they change the game on par to what a quarterback does.
Plural.
But a quarterback needs good players around him unless you're Tom Brady.
I mean, this is what you talk about with first-round picks. Like, if you put one pick on a defense, it's not going to affect the whole defense.
But it does affect the whole defense.
Like a first-round quarterback who's going to be a franchise guy for 10 years is going to have a way bigger impact on the team.
We've also shown that quarterbacks need other players around them. I mean, Andrew Luck right now.
Andrew Luck has nobody.
Yeah, and he's losing.
Yeah, but he got to the playoffs last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
Did they make playoffs last year?
Yeah.
I thought they did terrible last year. Yeah, Andrew Luck did terrible last year.
No, dude, they made the playoffs.
Look, that's 2 years ago. When they lost.
2 years ago, fine.
He's made the playoffs 1 year.
2 years. They still had nobody 2 years ago. He is single-handedly carrying that. Andrew Luck's the best example I have for my argument. There's nobody on that team.
But so there's been nobody on that team and he's played terribly, and there's been no one on that team and they've done well. So
when have they done well when he has not been on that team? When there's nobody.
They've been bad with him and they've been good with him. So why is he the reason they've been good when they're bad now with him? Why is he the reason for their success when he both had success with them but is also doing terribly without them? He's had no team, you said, both seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Both seasons he's had bad teams. So if he's also a part of that team, so what has changed from good year to bad year? Who have they really lost?
I mean,
I would say it's offensive linemen.
Well, I think it's also defensive coordinators figuring him out more. And
I don't know. I just think he lost teammates that he relied on.
I mean, maybe to an extent, yeah. So he probably did have a better team.
So he relies on other people too. Just because a quarterback relies
on other people. I'm not ever saying that a quarterback takes up the entire team and is responsible for all of their output.
But their statistical
more
output is not
than any other single player.
But not by a huge proportion. It's by a they are, but not by a ton.
So you think the next most important position is defensive end?
Yes, it is.
So you think one quarterback equals 2 solid defensive ends?
I'm not sure if that's the exact conversion rate. But
I want to figure out this conversion rate.
We should. We really should.
I think it'd be three to maybe a middle linebacker and 2 defensive ends.
No, 2. I'm thinking 1.5 defensive ends. Because if you have a great defensive end, that really changes your team, and is the reason that
one does not change your team.
It's the difference for the Lions between winning and losing that game, as it normally is.
Not one defensive end.
Well, but the issue is again, usually as a quarterback, is you can't do everything yourself. And occasionally J.J. Watt will have a 3-sack game, but sometimes the double and triple teams will shut him down and need someone to do something else. Just like a quarterback like Andrew Luck needs help.
All right.
So it functions the same way.
Okay,
we're going to figure out this conversion.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll get back to you guys on this. This has been That's been our longest standing argument between each other. How valuable is a quarterback truly?
Because it's impossible to prove.
One day we'll come up with an advanced metric.
We'll think of a mathematical equation.
Or we'll just make something up.
We'll make something up. Next game, divisional battle. The Redskins defeated the Giants 29 to 26. Let's see, I put
That was an ugly back and forth at the end game, man. Alfred Morris scoring the game, that was the week before. Who scored? Oh, this was when Eli Manning got picked by Sua Cravens.
Yeah.
Oh, Sua! Shout out to the Trojan. That was a great
That
finish.
guy's been awesome this season.
He really has. That athlete kind of player. I think today in the NFL, those are the perfect kind of players. The Vikings have him in Harrison Smith. Sua Cravens can be that for the Redskins. I mean, when you can have the mobility that he has and the hitting and the power to enforce
Steelers
what he
with
does.
Ryan Shazier, he's kind of the same guy.
Those players are sweeping the league.
Yeah.
Great pickup by the Redskins.
Yeah.
Josh Norman kind of got roasted in this game, didn't he? Do you care about this?
So I saw before the game that like the refs called over him and Odell Beckham, and they're just like, "We want a clean game, fellas." Like they put him next to each other.
What are we in middle school?
Yeah, it was just, and they were laughing the whole time. Like it was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, not too much else to say here. Who do you like in this division though? You like Dak and company?
Oh, I like the Eagles.
Eagles.
I like the Eagles to win this division a lot.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between the Eagles and the Cowboys.
I would really love if Tony Romo came back and lost it. Just so that
would be an interesting dynamic.
I would really like that just so that we can... Look, Tony Romo's on his way out.
Well, yeah.
He has back issues. Everybody knows it.
One more year?
He will never win a championship.
You're right.
No team can win with Tony. It's just not... There's no window for it to happen.
I don't know if no team could win with him. Like from in his current state, you're probably right. But I think he was good enough to win one at some point.
At some point, yeah. All players at their peak of the peak, in a perfect situation, could probably have won a title. But there's no title in his future.
Yeah.
They need to start Dak Prescott.
No, I agree with you there.
And they're going to turn back to Tony Romo when he's healthy again, and when the doctors can't hold him on the sideline justifiably. And I hope that he loses a game or two that is the difference between them making the playoffs and not, and then the Cowboys can just move on.
Yep. That'd be the best thing for the Cowboys.
I really just want the best thing for the Cowboys.
Yep.
But the Eagles, I think, will win this division. I'm extremely impressed with Carson Wentz, who I always thought should have been the first overall pick.
Really?
Yeah. Jared Goff's terrible. He hasn't even played. He was inactive week 1. He was a healthy scratch.
Well, we'll get to
You know how disturbing that is?
We'll get to the Rams.
That's horrifying.
Rams actually next up on our list. They defeated the Buccaneers 37-32. But should the Rams start Jared Goff with the rough start to the season that they've had?
Is it that rough? They're 2-1, aren't they?
Well, did they win the?
Yeah, they beat Seattle,
right? They did. You're right. So, but they did start the season with a 0-point loss.
Well, yeah, but whether or not you scored 0 points is irrelevant because a loss is a loss and a win is a win. They scored 9 points in their win; it still counts as a win. So they're 2-1. So this is a good start for them.
So it's not a good start for the offense, though.
It's terrible start for the offense.
So do you start Jared Goff?
No. Clearly, he's not ready. I guess.
How do you know he's not ready though?
Because Jeff Fisher isn't playing him.
Well, is he just doing that because that's the convention of what you do with rookie
because he's like an old stale piece of toast, and he won't adjust to the last decade of NFL coaching. Yes, and it's a mistake because Jared Goff should be playing because all of these wins are meaningless because Case Keenum is not going to take them to.
So
any
he should
sort
be
of,
playing.
Yeah, he should be playing, but he's not going to.
I agree.
And first of all, and he's not ready, but that's because he's not very good. And I've been saying this for so long. He's not good. I don't know why they drafted him first overall. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't understand on what measurable did Goff really outperform Wentz. In what way? You look at the resume, you look at the statistics, you look at the measurables. Maybe in padless arm throwing practices, he put a little bit more zip on the ball.
I mean, obviously the biggest difference is he played D1 and Carson Wentz played FCS.
But Carson Wentz won 4 national titles and Jared Goff had 1 winning record.
Right, but it's against inferior competition. I mean, you can't argue that.
But then you can argue
it's a bigger jump from where Carson Wentz was playing.
Of course it is, but players do that all the time.
I mean, not as often as they do from D1 programs.
Well, no, but
especially quarterbacks.
But individual players have the ability to make that jump, and if a guy is in front of you performing, and you know that he has a track record of performing, then you should know that he's good, and you can't discount the numbers just because they're an FCS, especially because FCS isn't like D3. This isn't Coastal Carolina. It's still Division I football.
Yeah, but it's pretty far away from the SEC.
Is it? It's not that far. North Dakota State just beat Iowa.
Well, right.
And that's without Carson Wentz.
Iowa should be in the FCS.
Iowa went to a Rose Bowl last year.
They don't play anybody.
No, wait.
They don't schedule anybody.
Doesn't
Look at
matter.
their schedule. It does matter.
They scheduled FBS
They
opponents.
make cream puff schedules so that they can get to bullshit Rose Bowls.
No.
This is my biggest gripe with Iowa.
But you didn't just say they didn't deserve to make a Rose Bowl. You said they should be an FCS program. That's just not true.
Well, okay, obviously it's hyperbole.
Iowa won the Big Ten, so they deserve to be in the Rose. But whether or not they scheduled a cream puff schedule is a cream puff schedule of FBS opponents. And they lost to a North Dakota State team that just lost the number 2, should have been the number 1 overall pick at quarterback. They're a great team that, if they were in the FBS, would be a good team.
No, I disagree with that.
Good, not great. They'd be a middle power conference team.
No, absolutely not.
They could be in the Big Ten and perform just as good as Nebraska.
I mean, they don't have any 4 or 5 star players. They don't have
You don't
3-star
need
players.
them. You don't need them.
What? What are you talking about? You don't need players in college football?
You just don't need specifically 4 and 5 star players
All right,
at every position. USC has lots of those. How are we doing?
Well, if you're coached
Clemson doesn't have a lot of those 5-star athletes.
Oh,
they did
have
pretty well.
Much better players than North Dakota State.
Not everyone can be
individually.
But it's not about what stars they were. It's about how they play together on a team under a coaching. Like, all of these things
you need players.
are crucially important. You need players, yes, but you don't need a consistent flow of like high-star recruits. You just need players who you can develop. And every program can get those.
You can only develop so far.
I mean, Boise State was an NFL factory for like 4 or 5 years there. You remember that? When they were sending like 3 or 4 players to the league every year in Boise State, a program that never had any success.
Right.
It's about the program you make, and you can churn out players doing that. North Dakota State churns out good players.
Mm-hmm.
Like Carson Wentz, who's dominating the NFL right now.
Well,
it happens.
Well, let's go back to the NFL. We've delved too much into college football right now.
God, so Rams-Bucks, ugly game. Does anyone care that the Bucks are bad?
Not really. I like Jameis, but that's about it.
Jameis looks like he could one day be a good quarterback, but that day is not today.
But that guy's he's talented.
He's going to be a beast.
Yeah.
He's little Cam Newton. He
reminds me of Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, it's actually a better comparison.
Yeah. All right, next up, Chiefs defeated the Jets 24-3. We both had the Chiefs. Is there any redeeming quality for the Jets as far as this game goes?
When your quarterback throws 6 picks, it's hard to. And 8.
If you just look at the
Gaussian
Gaussian distribution in the DFL, it was 8 turnovers. Yeah.
So 6 picks and 2 fumbles. God,
8.
Jets.
I mean, I just wonder if any team in the history of the NFL has won with 8 turnovers. There's no way.
I think only one team has ever turned the ball over 8 times other than that. But. So the Jets are 1-2. I thought they'd be better going into the year than this.
Really?
Is this all Ryan Fitzpatrick's fault?
No, it's not all his fault. I mean, he's limited. That's the long and short of it. But obviously, Jacoby Brissett is limited. Should they
have brought Fitzpatrick back, or should they have gone a different direction?
Well, what other direction would they have gone? I mean, I think ultimately when it comes to these quarterbacks, there's not that many options.
I think there are lots of players who want to play quarterback.
I think they paid him too much.
Probably.
I think for the price, they should not have brought him back.
You know what they really should have done?
Wait for first-round draft pick?
Yes, they should. They should have tanked this year.
You put way too much faith in the draft.
No, there are a lot of good quarterbacks.
There's not just magical franchise quarterbacks in the first round every year.
No, there are real legitimate first-round quarterbacks that are coming out this year.
Yeah, but not everybody can be the first or second pick.
But
right now we have 3
that's
teams
why you should suck on purpose.
That you think can suck on purpose to get a top 2 quarterback.
I mean, the Bears just suck naturally. Let's be honest. The Browns as well. But
right, the Browns have that number 1 pick locked down.
The Jets, I think, are a perfect example of being a quarterback away, and they should just be like, let's just tank it so we can either trade that pick for a quarterback, because other teams will overinvest in first-round picks.
Maybe they're thinking they're like the Vikings, so they can just kind of fake it at quarterback and then let their defense.
Well, clearly they can't.
Right, but maybe
their defense isn't that good. Not good enough to do that. Clearly.
Yeah. Well, I think that was their mindset.
Well, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jets.
Go Chiefs. Next up, Colts defeated the Chargers, or should I say Andrew Luck and Company.
Andrew Luck and Associates?
Yeah, Andrew Luck and everybody else. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about the Chargers, but, boy, the Colts, it's just, they need to get rid of that coach, and they need to get players pretty much everywhere around.
How many years does getting cancer buy you with an NFL team? Apparently 2 years.
Yeah, apparently 2.
So, I guess that's what he got.
Yeah.
But he's going to get fired. So.
Again, I said this last week, but if the Indy Star is saying that he's got to go, he's got to go.
Yeah. The fans are now turning on him, and he's going to go soon. But hey, Andrew Luck, Is there any chance? He's in a terrible division with the
Mhm.
Titans, the Jags, and who else in that division? The Texans.
Yeah.
What are the
Boy,
standings of
he
that
can
division
win
right
that
now?
division. That's incredible.
Oh boy, yeah. So the Texans lead it at 2-1, but Texans are not a quality roster.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I think that Andrew Luck can put up a fight in that division.
Especially, I think Brock Osweiler could just kind of deteriorate too. His self-confidence is going to go down.
That was a drubbing, man.
That would just be incredible if Andrew Luck won that division. Talk
It-
about quarterbacks being valuable.
Interesting to see if they have a hangover next week. The Texans do, so maybe he has a chance. He has a shot.
We'll see.
What's next? Eagles Steelers.
Eagles
Man.
Steelers, boy, what a statement game! And I was optimistic on the Steelers too before this game, but the Wentz wagon has a lot on board right now, including both of us. I think.
Yeah, I'm on the Wentz wagon.
Mhm.
I mean, he's looked just professional.
There's that one play in that game where he rolled out to the right, and I think the running back had like a wheel route up, and it was just like a beautiful,
Oh, to Darren Sproles?
Yeah.
The 65-some yarder? Yeah, no,
just
that
a beautiful play.
But shows poise in the pocket to wait, to lob it over Ryan Shazier. You
Yep.
got to catch him in no man's land, then throw it over the top. Perfectly executed. He probably ran that play in North Dakota State a whole bunch.
Well, and his coaches are saying he prepares like Brady, or prepares like Manning. He's watching film underneath his table at dates.
Which is perfect. What a classic
Just-
story to begin the legend of Carson
Yeah,
Wentz.
all good things with Carson Wentz so far. I mean, he's big. Like I love this guy.
There's no real redeeming qualities for the Steelers in this game, is there?
Not really,
You
no.
beat by 31 against your in-state rival. I mean, hey, at least they're still 2-1, but
Yeah, it's
no
not like,
running game. They're really missing Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah,
They can't have consistency on the offense until he's back.
right.
I mean, D'Angelo Williams has shown up so far this season, but dude's 32 with a huge roll. Excuse me, a Rolodex of injuries. He can't last.
Well, at Big Ben at his peak, might have been able to carry him, but at his age, he needs a running game behind him.
God, yeah, dude's old now.
Yeah, boy, and
His
he
window,
does
if it's
move
not
like he
shut,
used to.
Yeah, if it's not shut, it's closing.
He limps back on those 5-step drops.
Oh boy. Last one.
Oh, last game, just two horrible teams. Falcons defeated the Saints 45-23. The misery continues for the Saints, who I think are going to be big contenders for one of those top 2 picks, which they should probably trade if they get one of those.
Why would they trade it?
He's got Breeze.
How many years do you think Breeze has left?
So are you going to trade a quarterback when you have Drew Brees? I think Drew Brees has 4 or 5 years left.
Really? You think he has 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
left? Man, I mean, to be fair, I don't know if he's really had a drop off. I mean, almost
Yeah,
400
his
yards,
team
3
has just
touchdowns in
been
this
awful.
game. It's true, man. Yeah, I think if they get one of those top,
You can get a lot
3
for it.
Oh, they can get multiple. You can get 2 or 3 first rounders and build up that defense, which is the worst in the league.
Oh, God.
Actually, that'd be
I
a
mean,
great.
you need-
That'd be a perfect situation for them if they're in the top 2 in the draft, and then they trade away for 3 first rounders and can spend all on defensive linemen, defensive ends.
They need a lot of defense. Yeah, that's definitely what they should spend it on.
Yeah.
But Falcons, 45 points, pretty impressive. But is there any chance for them this season?
Absolutely, they're 2-1. They are playing in a not that strong division. I mean, their contenders are the Saints. Who else in that division? Buccaneers
And Panthers.
Panthers. So Panthers have not looked good
Yeah,
this year.
Panthers
so far.
1-2.
1-2, and a surprising loss to Minnesota. And Cam Newton hasn't scored a lot of points this year.
Mm-hmm.
So already
Super
off to a
Bowl
slow start.
hangover.
Yeah, Super Bowl hangover a little bit. I don't think it's necessarily that anyone's figuring him out. I think he's played a couple bad games, but nonetheless, a 1-game lead for the Falcons already. They've got a solid running game. The defense is much improved. You got their linebackers now have quickly gone from one of the worst parts about their team to one of the better parts about it. They certainly have a shot.
We shall see. That is all of the Week 3 games. Again, the tally: Charlie 8-6-1 and Lopez 11-3-1. So we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, which ones
on,
did I miss? The Steelers. I'm
the
gonna take a look at that. I'm gonna look over my notes
the
after the show.
Ravens, and then there was a push on the Rams defeating the Bucks.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. So all right, so next week.
So
one.
on to the Week 4 preview. First game we got the Dolphins at Bengals. Cincy -7. That's a big number.
That is a big number. And you pick first.
I always hate picking 7-point favorites, but
And you're not sure if the Dolphins are awful. They look awful, but you're not.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, Tannehill will throw 4 touchdowns eventually, right?
No, there definitely could be like an up and down team. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
I'll take the Bengals. Because the Dolphins are that bad. They might be.
I don't know if they're that bad.
The Bengals really need a win, though.
They do, yeah. Beige water pistol.
The Andy Dalton, the beige water pistol. But you can't, the Ravens are 3-0, the Steelers may or may not turn, but they got to make up ground soon if they're
Who thought the Ravens are going to be leading that division?
I did not.
Crazy. Lions at Bears. Detroit only -3.
Lions, easy.
What an insult!
I expect this to be a good win.
Boy, what an easy pick.
The Bears are the team that we need to play right now to get back to even. That we deserve to be. We deserve to be at least 2-2 through 4.
I mean, maybe this line is the Bears. They're at home, coming off a bad loss. Maybe they bounce back. Brian Hoyer looked decent in that game, I guess.
I'm not sure who I want you guys to start more, Brian Hoyer or Jay Cutler. No,
I want to start Brian Hoyer.
It's Jay Cutler.
Just for something different.
Please start Jay Cutler.
Why?
Because I want him to throw 3 picks. Why do you think?
Exactly.
Like I want to knock him out of the game after 3 interceptions.
Then he'll have the same look on his face.
Exactly.
3 touchdowns. All right, then we got Colts versus Jaguars. Indy -2.5.
Ooh, is this a game the Jags figured out? I'm going to pick the Jags because if they don't figure it out this year, then I think their whole season's sunk. Because that'll put the Colts at 2-2. The Texans will be at least 2-2. I don't think you can be 0-4 in that division and catch up to those two teams as the Jaguars. So I'm gonna take them.
I'll go Colts. Next we got Titans at Texans. Houston -6. -6, man.
Really? I'll take the Titans easily.
Yeah, it's two bad teams. I can't believe Texans are favored that high. I'll go Titans too. I think Mariota again is going to be solid for the next 10+ years. I think he has a good showing against the J.J. Watt free Texans.
Oh, this next one's tough to pick. Browns at Redskins.
Oh,
Washington -8.
Oh, man.
Wow. Will the Browns get blown out or will they keep it close? Is the question here.
So Cody Kessler, is he starting again?
Yeah. I'm taking the Browns.
-8. Man, that is just a big fat line.
I'll take the Browns.
I gotta take the Browns too. I can't take the Redskins.
I feel good about Cody getting his first win in this game. I feel good about it.
Getting his first win?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and if not, I mean, they just have to be within 8.
They'll get within 8. I think so. Next up, we got Seahawks at Jets. It's a pick'em.
Ooh. Man. Is Russell Wilson injured?
Game. Not that I know of.
Pretty sure he's injured. I'm going to take the Jets.
Interesting. I'm gonna go Seahawks.
Not injured like out, injured like hampered.
Oh, okay.
Like playing hurt.
I think the Seahawks roster is just so much better than the Jets, and obviously
But the Jets only score like 10 points.
Yeah, no, Seahawks have underachieved, no doubt, but their roster is way better.
That's fine.
I see them getting the win. We got Bills at Patriots, New England -4.5.
Patriots.
What quarterback is starting this game?
Oh, wait, that's true. We don't even know, because Brissett is allegedly injured. He tore a ligament in his right thumb.
So,
we don't even know who's starting for the
Julian
Patriots.
Edelman might be the starting quarterback for the Patriots.
The real question is, do you take the Patriots with Julian Edelman starting quarterback? Especially when they just beat the freaking...
Until
beat the Panthers. Jesus.
Yeah, until Belichick proves to me that he can't win with any quarterback on the face of the earth, I'm going Patriots.
Man, I really feel like something inside me is telling me the Bills are going to win this game. If the Patriots are 4-0 and then Brady comes back, I won't even know how to...
Gronk.
Even the most optimistic... Yeah, I just feel like it can't be... Even the most optimistic Patriots homers were not saying 4-0. Even, the people who have lived in New England their whole life are saying we'll be lucky to be 3-1 with Garoppolo playing all those games.
Get hurt.
Exactly, man. Can it happen?
I mean, yes, it can happen, absolutely.
But
it's gonna happen.
I want to pick the Bills, but there's this voice inside my head that's saying that you never pick against Bill Belichick. You can't. But that line is a 4.5-point line.
It's not that much.
But it's more than a field goal. Like, I can see the Patriots definitely winning this game by a last-second field goal, but that's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the Bills.
Bills, all right.
I have some room to give. I can take some risks.
It's a dangerous strategy, my friend. All right, we got the Panthers at the Falcons. Carolina -3. Panthers coming off a loss. Falcons coming off a big win.
I think it's got to be the Panthers.
Yeah, only -3. Is that? Are they been that bad at the start? I guess. I mean, 1 and 2.
They have. The answer to that question is yes. They have been that bad.
But again, I go back to the roster. It's so much better.
We're only 3 games in.
Only 3 games in. Like, there's a lot of parity in the NFL. I'll go Panthers. Did you said Panthers?
I said Panthers.
All right. Next up, Raiders at Ravens. Interesting matchup. Baltimore minus 3.5. Boy, I have no idea what this game.
Raiders.
Man, Ravens 3-0. Are they for real? It's hard to say. We'll go Ravens.
Okay.
They've had a good show on the start of the season.
I think Derek Carr will be able to throw on Baltimore, even though it's at Baltimore. I think he'll have success through the air. I don't think that the Ravens have necessarily played great teams through this 3-0. I mean, their win against this week was against the Jaguars. And their other wins have been close. So
yeah.
I'll take the Raiders.
We'll see.
Broncos at Bucks.
Denver minus 3 only. How's that possible?
Well, because they're so much better. The Bucks, remember, just got beat by, who was it?
The Rams.
The Rams.
Yeah,
the Bucks just lost the Rams.
Yeah, so how's it only minus 3?
Well, because it's at Bucks.
So
and theoretically, the Bucks are better than the Rams and just played a bad game. I assume.
Well, yeah. No, I'd probably agree with that.
The real question is, will the Denver defense eat Jameis Winston alive?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like the answer to that question is yes. I
feel
like
the Bucks will not score more than
I'll take Denver.
15 points
this
game.
I'll take Denver.
All right, we both got Denver. All right, Rams at Cardinals.
Wow. Cardinals minus is that an 8?
That's an 8.
That's a crushingly hard
What
line
do we
pick.
do with the Cardinals?
You pick this one first.
I'm going Rams.
I'll take Cardinals.
They just got that win.
All right, no, I'll take Rams. Sorry, I forgot it was minus 8. That line is too big. The Cardinals have been too bad this year. Not think that they'll win by more.
I mean, the Rams' offense could also just go sub 10 points again.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's gonna be like 17-10.
I think that's a high.
Generous, maybe a little bit.
Like, there's gonna be a single digit in there somewhere.
I hope not, man. Defenses are off to a great start this year.
Yeah, it's not been fun to watch. Although the young quarterbacks.
For me, it's been. I love watching good defenses.
Oh no. It's all about the pass.
Nothing better right now than watching the Minnesota Vikings get after quarterback. What was it, like 9 sacks on Cam Newton?
Well, yeah,
that is
the Broncos and Vikings defense is fun, but like I want to watch offenses play for the most part. Yeah, no, I'm not a purist.
You are not a purist. Get out of here with your filthy casual opinions.
All right, Saints at Chargers, San Diego minus 3.5.
I'll take the Chargers.
Yeah,
the Chargers have had like 14 to 20 point leads in all of their games so far this year.
Yeah,
they just have lost 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'll go Chargers. Saints are terrible.
Philip Rivers gave a big fantasy week for me this week. I feel it.
Oh, we got a little extra incentive there.
Absolutely.
All right, Cowboys at 49ers. Dallas only minus 3. I'm going Cowboys all day.
Who did the 49ers play this week?
Did
they play anybody?
Yeah, they played...
they played Seattle. Oh, did we not talk about 49ers Seattle? We didn't. Look at that.
Really?
Yeah. The Seahawks beat San Francisco 18-37. Seahawks beat San Francisco 13-87. A very subpar game. This seems like the Seahawks dominated. Yeah, they just dominated that game. But San Francisco's look surprisingly good this year. I'm going to take... Ooh. I really don't know who I'm going to take. Who'd you take? The Cowboys?
Yeah.
The Dak machine?
Take 49ers. Make it interesting.
No, I'm going to take the Cowboys.
Oh.
I've already done a bunch of picks against you. Dak's gonna throw for a lot of
He's just going to get better every week.
Yeah, he really is. He looks good.
Yeah. It's just the poise, too. Like he's so confident. Chiefs at Steelers. Pittsburgh minus 5.5.
Chiefs. I think Chiefs will win this game.
I think Chiefs will win this game by 10.
Makes it an easy pick then, huh?
Yeah. Come on, Vegas. Set it up.
All right, last one. Giants at Vikings. Minnesota minus 4.5. Whew.
Vikings at home. They're going to win.
Yeah, Vikings. Yeah, I think they're going to force Eli Manning into a fight. Eli Manning is one of the most turnover-prone quarterbacks ever.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the Vikings are going to eat him up. Yeah. That defense is too on fire.
Why,
the Giants'
why is this line so low, though? What does Vegas know that we don't?
I think they just don't. They don't think people believe that the Vikings will score that many points.
Sam Bradford's going to do something
stupid. Or just, even in the games that they've won with Bradford, they haven't scored a ton of points.
Right.
I mean, they scored 22 in their last game and 17 for the other one. and that was with a defensive score in one game and 9 sacks in the other. So it's fair that they won't score a lot of points. So the line wouldn't necessarily be very big, especially when the Giants have played decent so far this year. But the Giants, they're going to hold the Giants in 14 points.
They're much better even though the line isn't season.
That's all.
That's all the games for Week 4. Yeah.
Can't wait for another victorious week in picking.
Oh,
It'll be good.
I'm so happy the NFL's back.
It's
great. Awesome just to have that whole Sunday.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. We hope that you guys are enjoying it just like we are. I guess that's pretty much it, man. Any signing off? Any signing off things?
Rest in peace, Jose Fernandez, Arnold Palmer. I'll miss you guys a ton. But otherwise, looking forward to the next week in the NFL.
Looking forward to another DFL championship as well. I can't wait. Can't wait for that.
Please, somebody beat Lopez.
Even if I lose one game, I'll still
DFL gods make it happen. 4 fumbles.
Not gonna happen. We're going for undefeated. I'm trying to win both leagues, man. All right, I'm Chris.
I'm Charlie,
and this is us from Frat Sports signing off. Hope you guys have a great weekend. 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 Have a great weekend.